Round one, we have the choice. We're going to play first. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. If we can ideally set up a little loot system with this Wharf Infiltrator, we'll be in good shape. And I guess you could potentially afford to just discard your Stitchwing early to get a 3-2 and then bring it back later when you've got excess cards. I don't know if I'll have to do that, though. All right, well, opponent's got his blocker for our Wharf Infiltrator already. But I'm pretty okay trading an Infiltrator for a Topple, guys. I don't think that's that terrible anyway. At this point, I feel pretty comfortable trading a Scarecrow, converting a Scarecrow into a 3-2. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I guess we do that. It works out pretty well. We're going to drag under the Topple, guys, so we get to attack with the Infiltrator. So basically, we get to draw a card and loot. We take 2 on the Crackback and maybe replays Topplegeist. That didn't seem that bad. Gives us some more. I mean, alternatively, I can just play the Scarecrow and maybe pass, too. I don't really need to loot right now, and saving drag under can be really beneficial. Especially considering I can't even get a 3-2. It's basically dealing 1 damage and looting at the cost of a pretty good bounce effect. I think we'll just play the Scarecrow and pass. I don't want to trade. I did say I want... Maybe I can trade the Infiltrator for the Topplegeist. I mean, it's certainly going to get better later if he gets Delirium. All right. I guess we'll offer it. It's a fairly reasonable trade. He loses an evasive guy with an excellent Delirium ability. We lose a guy that can potentially loot, but it's not that big of a deal. It feels like an actual fair exchange to me. I'm going to block. If he wants to use pump effects for my Scarecrow, it's not a big deal. Okay. All right, Foul Blood's reasonable draw here. All right. Funny thing is we can still block it. All right, I guess fair enough. I can't block. I don't want to trade my 3-2 for the 2-2. So I won't. All right, Tamio's Journal. I can get that going now. The earlier the better on this journal. Otherwise, I think we play the journal. We're in a fairly safe board state. Sometimes if you don't play the journal as soon as possible, you run into the problem of not being able to, not finding a good opportunity to play it later, whereas right now it feels like we can play that. Like if he has good removal this turn, we might take a bit of damage, but I think we'll be all right. Okay. So we used a premium removal spell to exile our journal, which he pretty much had to do. But the good news is he didn't do it on our Stitchwing, so we are going to be able to... I'll definitely trade a Foul Blood for a Provisioner. I'm okay with that exchange. Granted, we take a little bit of trample, but it's not a big deal. All right, Collective Brutality. So there's nothing I really want to discard to it, so I think we're just going to play our Stitchwing. So if he attacks with both, I think I'm just going to block the Horror. That's perfectly acceptable. I can also drag under this token, which is nice. Okay. So I can Collective Brutality plus drag under. I probably want to drag under first. He's got one card left in hand. Let's drag under this, see what I draw. Sleep paralysis. So let's Collective Brutality with 2 modes and check our opponent hand for an instant or sorcery. And I could also drain them for 2, but if I can get rid of it, just the knowledge and potential card, I think is better for us here. So let's see what our opponent's got. Okay, just a land. Good to know. So we're going to start the beatdown. We can race a 2-power guy and use the sleep paralysis on something more threatening. Like another woodland patrol. Yeah, we'll use it on that. I guess we can, yeah, we can trade a dragoon instead. We're not going to be able to... Trading a 3-2 for a 2-2 is better for us anyway, so... Keeps our sleep paralysis on hand for bigger threats that we need to deal with. Are there any reasons to sandbag lands now that we've gotten rid of Collective Brutality, now that we've lost Wharf Infiltrator? Yeah, for Stitchwing if he finds the answer. Okay. Still, like I said, really don't want to use Sleep Paralysis on a 2-power guy. Alright, we'll use it on the captain. Nice. It's actually a really good draw. So next turn we can play the land. We don't need him to know that we have it yet. Still on a 2-turn clock. Ah, okay. That makes things a little bit more complicated. Well, it's only humans he controls gain the lifelink, so that seems fine. All right, let's play the land. We'll give the gargoyle flying. And we can only attack with the gargoyle here. Obviously, we block the Heron's Grace Champion. Okay. So we got game 1. Jeez. Well, I had a bunch of lands coming up, so that was good. We got the victory when we did. So he's green-white, human beats. He's got this Heron's Grace Champion, which is a big deal. If it ever gets to any sort of stalled board state, this card's going to be a big problem. He's got quite a few humans too, right? Sentry, Provisioner, Double Patrol, his Captain. So he's got a lot of humans. That is going to make this a big problem. It's not that we have any sort of answer for it. Unsubstantiate, maybe. An extra one. Wouldn't hurt. Convolute. The nice thing about unsubstantiate is if he's banking on resolving it, it's really nice that you can just, you know, essentially counter it. What would I run that over, though? Like, I wouldn't want to run it over a Drag Under. But Drag Under is certainly worse against the Heron's Grace champion. But, like, Drag Under just plays so well. Like, especially in that game where it just killed a token, draw a card. It's really nice. How much do I like the Wharf Infiltrator? You know, the only 1-power guy we saw out of him was the... No, we saw Desperate Sentry, too. That's going to make Infiltrator worse. It's really bad against that. So I could cut back to 13 creatures if I cut the Infiltrator and bring in the other Unsubstantiate. But the problem is it's more like 12 creatures because even Scarecrow's not really a creature either. So that doesn't seem great. I could bring in a Foul Bloods for it, which appears to trade with a lot of things. The Cultist does too, though. It trades with the Woodland Patrols. Still draws us a card. Trades with his 2/2. The only upside of Foul Bloods is it trades with his Captain and it trades with his Heron's Grace champion. Both of which are pretty good, but I think I would still prefer to have the Cultist here over the Wharf Infiltrator. I mean, Wharf Infiltrator I'm okay main decking if our opponent really doesn't have a lot of 1-power guys, but just having the fact that he's got the Desperate Sentry, I think makes it worse, especially on the draw. All right, let's do this. Yeah, this hand's actually just fine. Ooh, get a nice turn progression here. Probably play the Cultist first. I guess it depends. Seems like I'd probably rather play the Cultist first. All right, let's see what our opponent revealed. Lone Rider, Captain, Provisioner. I mean, the one kind of nice thing about... He took the Lone Rider. Okay. So the one kind of nice thing about Lone Rider against us is that we have quite a bit of bounce effect and tap down, so we can actually pretty effectively deal with a Lone Rider for the most part. All right, we'll play a Cultist here, definitely. So that way if he has the pump effect, we're just fine. So the only pump effect we saw out of him was Confront the Unknown, which would not allow him to flip the Lone Rider, but would allow him to kill the Exultant Cultist. Okay. Drag Under is a great draw, so now even if he can do something with the Lone Rider, it's no big deal. So I could attack with Cultist, but he might play Inspiring Captain next turn. So I'd rather prepare for that a little bit better, I think. I mean, we're also going to be able to get our Journal on next turn. And maybe he busts Purge here, you never know. Patrol number 2, sure. All right. Boone's nice draw too. Let's get our Tamio's Journal on and sit behind this wall for a while. Or at least force him to use Purge again. Both of which are fine with me. Okay, so he's going all in. We're going to block like this. The Heron's Grace champion. All right, wait a second. Let's block in a way that he's got Heron's Grace Champion. So I think that actually means double blocking the Lone Rider. Because then he can only kill one of my guys and will still kill the Lone Rider. And I don't just... Okay, we'll assume he's got the... we'll assume he's got the Heron's Grace Champion. Okay. So this works fine. All right. Unfortunately, he had double trick, so he got us pretty good here. But nothing to be done about that. We're going to be able to take care of the Lone Rider. I think that we drag under the Lone Rider. And boon the 3/3 lifelink. Another option is actually the Nebelgast Herald to tap down the 3/3. Yeah, that might work better. All right, let's drag under that guy. We got a Dragoon, but we're gonna do the Herald to tap down the Heron's Grace Champion for now and block the Woodland Patrol if he wants that to happen. All right. You got us. All right. So he's got 2 cards left in hand. We're keeping busy here. So let's boon the lifelink now, because we definitely don't want this thing to flip again. And if I play the Niblis, it's better use of mana. But the Dragoon can actually block the Lone Rider. So I think we're going to do that instead. Is there anything I can search up with Tamio's Journal? The sleep paralysis. Okay. So I can search up my sleep paralysis to take care of Lone Rider in case he has a pump effect. All right. So we'll find the sleep paralysis. We're still okay, by the way. Still okay. So we'll take our medicine here. I'm trying to think if I have anything. Jeez. Opponent's got a lot of goodies. I'll give him that. All right. So sleep paralysis finding, or Tamio's Journal finding sleep paralysis. Just seeing if there's anything else that would be better. I don't think so. I could unsubstantiate. I don't know why that would be better. It's better if he has Purge, because he can purge away the thing, and then I've got to deal with it again. But I think that we just sack our clues. Let's get... I mean, I can drag under as well. That doesn't fully deal with it, but it actually nets me a card. You know, that might actually be better for me right now. He has no other means to gain life. Yeah, I think that's actually better. Like, sleep paralysis is kind of a temporary fix, and so is drag under, but drag under nets me a card, which just seems so much better here. Like, I need cards. I need to come back on this board. Okay, so we can go Gargoyle Niblis now. We're gonna have to come up with some way to kill the Prowler, so I guess we're gonna have to flip the Gargoyle to block the Prowler. Like, right now he can't flip Prowler and play Lone Rider. Okay, so he is flipping that, so we can only block it with one guy, which we currently can't do. Attacking with all three, which I think makes sense. So we'll get these two off the board. Okay, let's draw off our clue here because we can still play the spirit. Alright, let's play the land. So we're going to have to block the predator. Alright, I guess can't do anything about that. Alright. Yeah, it's nice we can kill the Lone Rider. Gotta find an answer for the Predator, though. Pretty quickly here. I don't have time to wait around much either here. Alright, mutation is in fact an answer, so that's cool. Oh, man, that's a bummer. Alright. Opponent outdrew us, unfortunately. We even had all those extra cards, too. Jeez. Alright. So we got to go to game 3 here. He's got clip wings in, unfortunately, against us, too. Alright. I was feeling good, too. We just turned it around, and then Doppelgeist. Alright. So he's got quite a few ways to flip his Lone Rider. But like I said, I mean, we have the answers for it. Yeah, I think we're going to keep it like this and try her again. Yeah, as a keep. Not staying busy super early, but it'll do. Can't really complain about this hand. Alright. Alright, sleep paralysis. It's a legit draw. I don't think our opponent ever got Delirium, so it seems good. Alright, let's drag that under. Tempos our opponent well. We get the prowess, we get to draw a card. All of that seems good. Sleep paralysis makes better use of mana, but drag under I feel like is better for us there. I like setting him back while we start to set up a nice fleet here. Plus, may be able to catch him with Storm Rider Spirit next turn. I can also play the Cultist to block the patrol. Yeah, plus Dragoon. That's not bad, actually. Because then I can even threaten to block the Doppelgeist by discarding like a Stitchwing or something. That's not bad. And Cultist can block the patrol. I kind of like that, actually. I don't mind discarding Stitchwing. It's not a huge deal. I mean, my other option is I feel like if he plays around Storm Rider Spirit, it's not great for me, though. Whereas if I play Cultist and Dragoon, I still threaten to block this, and I can block this. Yeah, I'm going to go my double play here. He's still attacking with Topplegeist. Well, I guess I just wanted to bluff with it. So let's just block here. And if he's got a combat trick, we draw a card, so it's not a huge deal. Ah, he's had that all 3 games, unfortunately, for us. Fortunately for him. Alright, I guess the play is sleep paralysis, the guy that gains him life. I mean, I can play the Stitchwing, but any sort of combat trick at this point is going to be a problem. So let's just sleep paralysis and smash for 3 here. I probably can discard the Scarecrow to block the Topplegeist. Well, I guess I kind of want to offer the trade with the Patrol, though, don't I? Well, Scarecrow actually looks good on this board, so maybe we don't need it. Oh. Well. It doesn't exactly seem worth it. I guess we'll take our 1. Ah, Desperation. What else we got? And Eternal Scourge. Alright, well. That's a bit of a problem, I guess. Mutation. Okay. So I can play the Stitchwing, but I want the Storm Rider Spirit to block the Topplegeist, I guess. This Grotesque Mutation is pretty big. Guess that we just swing with the Niblis. And we leave up the Storm Rider Spirit to block the Topplegeist. And we still offer the Dragoon trade with the Patrol as well. My other option was Scarecrow plus Mutation, but I don't know if that's better. Or just playing the Stitchwing, but I don't know why that would be better either. It does have 4 toughness, so it can block the Patrol, but I can do that next turn. And like I said, this seems like a good opportunity to maybe catch the Topplegeist. Well, I can still catch the Topplegeist, but now the problem is I'm taking a boatload of damage from other places. And he's playing around Storm Rider Spirit like I didn't want him to do, but that's okay. So I can double block the Woodland Patrol, and I just lose my Storm Rider Spirit, and then I take 6. My other option is block the Desperate Sentry, and then I take 8 and go to 7. And I'm left with a Dragoon that can block that next turn. So I think I actually am going to do that. It's not great, but we also have the Mutation. Keep that in mind. I really didn't want him to have the trick here, too. Maybe he was just bluffing there. I don't know. All right. No other plays from our opponents. We have 7 mana. Yeah, I think here we're just going to play the Stitchwing. Do I want to pass, though? Or do I want to maybe attack? So my opponent, next turn, swings with everything. I have Grotesque Mutation, which is a huge ace in the hole. Especially if I played on Niblis plus the Prowess, I can just... Well, it's got all these... Unfortunately, it's got all these 3-power guys. Yeah, he's got a lot of 3-power guys. Well, regardless, we're playing the Stitchwing. The question is, do I want to attack with anything? Like the Storm Rider Spirit or something. My blocks still suck, though, regardless. My blocks are just bad. I mean, Dragoon can block Patrol. Alright, Dragoon blocks Patrol. Stitchwing blocks Captain or Horror. plus mutation to gain 6 life. And then I would take 6. So I basically even out, but I get 2 things off his board. And that's assuming he does not have a purge. I don't know how safe that assumption is. I think it still might be worth... It's probably still worth swinging with our spirit. We're in a bit of a rush to kill our opponent. I'm trying to think, can I use this mutation offensively to kill my opponent? I'm not entirely sure that I can. Okay. Still all right. His attacks aren't great. All right. And he didn't attack, which is good news. So let's untap here. Play the Scarecrow. So let's say I swing with all of my flyers. He's tapped out. He only has 1 thing that can block. He blocks my biggest flyer. He takes 3, 5, 7, 10, 11 plus with prowess. Let's do the math again on that to make sure. Blocks my biggest guy. Takes 3, 5, 7, 10, 11 with prowess. That looks like it's right. Let's go for it. No other reach? No reach on his side. You would guess a Scarecrow would, but it can't. Well, very close match, obviously. Heron's Grace Champion's a tough card, man. It's a tough card to play against, especially when you've got stuff like Lone Rider to go alongside it, which goes alongside it so well, and as well as pump spells like Confront the Unknown. Although Confront Lone Rider, not that great, but when paired with Heron's Grace Champion, obviously very good. So opponent's deck turned out to be pretty good overall, but we were able to fortunately capitalize and steal a victory there. So, all right, we'll see you in round 2.